And that aim is what will reposition your mind when faced with difficulty, when faced against resistance, so that you can find clarity again and move through and pass those blocks and hurdles and get back into the rhythm, riding the wave of your life, of the universe, in succinct harmony as a dance with what is going on around you and what is going on within you, as though they're meant to be together, that this is the natural way. Hey everybody, welcome. It's been a while, but thanks for coming. Today, the topic is living from the basis of flow. So what does flow mean? Flow could be understood through a lot of different aspects of life, but in terms of how I'm going to be speaking about it, is when your inner realm and your external world act together as though they're in a dance. Not forceful. Like you don't have to do anything to make it happen except show up. And the experience is natural and effortless. So, how does one live every day in flow? How do you put yourself into flow if it doesn't require any force or effort on your point? This brings me to what I've been doing recently, and why I haven't been making videos is because I've actually been working on a ranch, building miles of fencing. As you can imagine, it's not the easiest job. In particular, what I have to do is go through lots of forest, cut down trees, climb over deadfall, and clean up old barbed wire, which can be quite grueling, quite painful. Sometimes it's super hot. Now it's getting cold. I'm still working on it, by the way. But I have made it a priority in my life to come from flow and find flow, find a harmonious relationship between what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. And what better place to learn than doing a hard, sometimes physically intensive, oftentimes repetitive, monotonous job. So this also goes out to people that are doing things in their life, working a job that they don't necessarily love, that they don't prefer. Maybe they can't necessarily see a way out of it yet. But I would say that even there you can find flow, you can find harmony in what you're doing. And where it starts is internally, within your being. The way that you talk to yourself, and the way that you talk to yourself is because of what your internal beliefs and values are, how you see yourself in relation to the world, in relation to your job, in relation to your family, your coworkers, your loved ones, or perhaps the lack thereof. And the internal dialogue that arises is an example for you, if you observe it, as to how in harmony you are internally and then by association externally. So you need to cultivate an internal harmony in order to find an external harmony and begin to dance with your life. So the answer to the question of how can you find flow in your daily life, in whatever you're doing, starts as simply as living with intention. Okay. Again, this isn't force-based. You don't have to will this into happening. You simply create a declaration, an intent, a purpose. You give yourself a goal in mind of what it is that you want to experience and achieve. Now, this can be a very big, definite chief aim that you see your life taking, and we'll get there. But this can be something as simple as what you want to get out of this day. It's something very, very easy. Like, I want to do a good job and perhaps be seen as someone of value, maybe be considered for promotion in my job. I want to speak clearly to someone that I've been having a difficult time communicating with. I want to feel physically fit. I want to do something to know and teach myself that I am advancing towards the body that I desire. So really, I mean, this all comes from having a desire and then intending with yourself upon that desire that you're going to get it. And this is the self-talk that we were referring to. This is saying, I want this. This is what I'm aiming towards. You're giving yourself an aim. And what this does is it acts as an anchor as you move through the day. There is a perspective shift that occurs when you return back to that intention of what you want to get out of this. And one important way to align yourself back to the intention is how you would feel if that intention was met upon the accomplishment of meeting your desire. What would you feel if you were already there? And the same answer applies for everybody. Joy, peace, success, relief, bliss. That's the feeling that arises when you're in flow as well. And when you're in flow, your awareness is completely immersed into what you're doing, unhindered by doubt, by ideas of us versus them, by the drama that persists in media and news and society. All of these things are set aside because all of these arise from limiting beliefs that we can get wrapped up in. And when we identify with those things, it hinders that flow. So another realization one makes is to achieve flow in your day-to-day process is to reconcile seeming opposing variables in your life. Those that create an internal discordance, a fight, an argument, even in your own head, can pull you out of the moment and take you into imaginary scenarios where you are battling, where you are waging war. And it might be a long campaign that's been going on for a very long time. The idea, again, here is that the intention that you have is going to cut through all that. And what I've seen, both in myself and others, is that we might have lost sight of that or haven't been trained. This kind of thing isn't really taught in schools. It isn't taught in society. You certainly won't turn on the news and learn this kind of thing. How to create resilience and find joy. And recognizing joy and achieving your desires as a viable thing to do, like an important thing to do, that it's actually the best thing for you and the best thing for everyone else as well. So talking about intention and the felt accomplishment of meeting that intention is what we would call fulfillment. Now, here's something that I want to point out, a truth, a universal truth that exists prior to all these words or any thoughts that could stand in opposition to this truth, is that you are already fulfilled. You are already the vision of that which you desire, because it's coming from you. It's emergent from your consciousness. That vision, that intention, these words that we speak to ourselves are coming from the point of consciousness that I'm talking to. And that consciousness, by default, prior to anything that would say otherwise, is already fulfilled. These feelings of joy, bliss, peace, ecstasy, accomplishment, winning, are sourced within your awareness, within your pure presence, within your heart. They come from your spirit. They come from your own soul. And they emerge outward when, typically, in our society, conditions are met and come into alignment. And then we allow ourselves to feel that, which we already are. And it is possible for one to get stuck in a loop of degradation, of limiting beliefs that tell you that you can't have it. And then that begins the story of limitation that you tell yourself and others. And so that reality persists. So that goes back into the reconciliation of this limiting behavior and returning back to the center of your being. So part of the practice involved in finding flow in life is to embrace your own center, to go back within, right? Seek ye the kingdom of God within and set up shop. Find your home there and then work from there to begin analyzing how you communicate to yourself. What is arising from your subconscious, and is it of benefit to you? And if not, where is that coming from and why? And see, does this align with my intention? Does this align with a desired outcome? And then reminding yourself that the feeling of the desired outcome is ultimately what one wants to experience, and that already exists right now as you are fulfilled, as you are already that your desire is actually giving you a directive. It's giving you an aim to take. And that aim is what will reposition your mind when faced with difficulty, when faced against resistance, so that you can find clarity again and move through and pass those blocks and hurdles and get back into the rhythm, riding the wave of your life, of the universe, in succinct harmony as a dance with what is going on around you and what is going on within you, as though they're meant to be together, that this is the natural way, that you flow like water, my friend. Just be like water, as Bruce Lee says. And he points this out in terms of martial arts, where perhaps any normal person would look at that and think it has to do with fighting, when Bruce Lee himself said, there is no opponent. There is no other. There's no one to fight with. It's you and you out there. And once you can find harmony in that relationship, then harmony arises in all relationships. Harmony arises everywhere, and that becomes all you see. And then all that appears, all that arises, is bliss, is harmony, is natural occurring rhythm and coherence as it's supposed to be. And thanks for taking this little flowing journey with me. I'm glad to be back, and I want to keep doing more for you, so thanks for watching.